My father put a mask on my mother's face, a piece of iron pressed down on her tongue, preventing her from speaking. This was my father's punishment for my mother. My father is a beast in human form. I have seen him being polite and well-mannered in church. I have also seen him whip my mother in our home. I asked my mother why she didn't fight back. She simply brushed me off with the excuse that men are superior in today's society. When he found out that I had started menstruating, my father's gaze toward me became increasingly strange. He repeatedly tried to get me to be intimate with him. When my mother tried to stop him, he treated her even more violently. That day, my father gave his usual sermon at the church. I looked at the mask on my mother's face. Without thinking, I made a sarcastic remark to her. As I watched my mother's departing figure, I didn't realize that this would be the last time I would see her. My mother chose to end her life by hanging herself in the church. Perhaps this was her final act of resistance. Seeing my father's indifferent gaze, my heart was filled with resentment. Without my mother's protection, I began to live a hellish life. My father took me to church and wanted to marry me. I refused to comply, even if it meant death. He forced me to wear the mask my mother had worn before. Then my father dragged me home, where I was severely beaten with a whip. In the early hours of the morning, I escaped, while my father was fast asleep. I ran nonstop, not daring to stop even for a moment, until I collapsed from exhaustion. When I woke up again, I found myself lying in a carriage. The man was going to sell me to Frank for a large sum of money. When I saw the woman in the house, I realized what was happening. I tried to escape, but Frank stopped me.
Whoa there now, where do you think you're going?
They're leaving without me.
Yes, they are, but don't you worry about a thing, because from now on, this is where you live, daughter. Right here.
One evening, while I was delivering food, a man took an interest in me. He asked Frank how much I cost. At that moment, my sister came over to help me out of the situation. She offered to accompany the man, but the man insisted that I had to stay nearby and watch. With my boss's tacit approval, I had no choice but to agree. But then the man still wanted to force himself on me. My sister shot and killed the man to protect me. In this male-dominated society, my sister was sentenced to a cruel death by hanging. Watching my sister being executed, I now understand my mother's words even more. 7 years passed in the blink of an eye. I made a new friend named Liz. One day, the girls at the bar told us that a rich guy had rented out the entire bar. I peeked outside and immediately recognized him as my terrible father. How did he end up here?